All he's interested in is you paying to watch him fight.
Right.
Him collecting the check and then going back about doing his business. Now, if he tried to hide it and pretend to be something else, that would be different.
Back in the ring?
I think he got to right now because the money gone.
So the money's really gone?
Yeah, that's what you think. It's fight, get the money, spend the money, fight.
Team. I don't, I'm not really into hanging out with other celebrities. I've learned my lesson from that.
But you the boss and
50 Cent didn't hold back on a recent live with Stephen A. Smith when he heard that Floyd Mayweather held up a $402 million scam in search of more financial glory. He recently revealed that it was money that ultimately broke their friendship, claiming Floyd came to him looking for financial help. 50 added that while they were once close, Mayweather's constant demands for more cash led to their falling out.
I can stop them from using TMT as their logo right now. Because
so you wouldn't do that because y'all cool again?
Yeah, I don't have it. I'm just not chasing it. But to be honest with you,
50 Cent has once again targeted Floyd Mayweather, this time questioning the legitimacy of the boxer's claim that he spent $402 million on 62 apartment buildings in Upper Manhattan. Mayweather had boasted about the deal, framing it as a self-funded triumph in real estate. He bragged that all the retail space in these buildings belonged to him, positioning himself as a savvy, self-made mogul. But 50 Cent wasn't buying it. On Instagram, he mocked Mayweather's announcement, posting a clip from an online discussion that questioned the authenticity of the deal. In his caption, he wrote, "Damn champ, they caught you capping. It's time for another exhibition. LOL."
Apartment buildings in Upper Manhattan. Business Insider reported that no such deal appears to have occurred. Floyd recently posted a video on Instagram claiming he bought 6 apartment buildings, stating that they are all his properties with no partners involved. However, Business Insider has contradicted these claims, stating that the ownership of the buildings remains unchanged.
The timing of 50 Cent's post is no accident. Just weeks before, he had shared an AI-generated parody of a famous Rocky III scene, poking fun at both Mayweather and Harlem rapper Jim Jones. Mayweather's $402 million has quickly been a topic of concern. The problem is, a report found that New York City property records showed no sign of any sale or transfer of ownership for the buildings Mayweather claimed to have bought. Even the New York City Housing Partnership, which handles such transactions, confirmed they had no knowledge of any sale involving Mayweather. If anything, Floyd had only bought a part of the investment, while the real ownership remained anyone else but him. However, according to the video Floyd posted, he made a bold claim that there were no partners involved.
I love bringing the people into my lifestyle, showing the people how I live. Now, I know you guys see me on a regular talking about real estate. Well, lately, I purchased 62 apartment buildings in New York City. And what I need you guys to do, slide over and check out the photos. It's not all 62 buildings, it's a few buildings, but guess what? All the buildings belong to me. I don't have no partners. And all the retail down low on my buildings all belong to me.
This discrepancy between Mayweather's public claims and the lack of supporting evidence led to growing doubts about his real estate venture. If he had truly acquired these buildings, why was there no documentation showing they were under his name? The lack of transparency only fueled skepticism. Mayweather is a man who has made a career out of flaunting his wealth, but he has remained conspicuously silent as the scrutiny over his supposed purchase grew. Some fans under 50's Instagram post even suggested that since Mayweather doesn't know how to read, he misunderstood the contract for 62 units instead of Unit 62, which would only be a part of the investment.
Ever. All right. Now, Floyd Mayweather Jr., there's a story circulating that Business Insider did talking about this $400 million property deal that he had been discussing here in New York City. But now, according to Business Insider, it's not what you think it is. They said there's no evidence there's been a sale of these properties, and it's...
The absence of proof wasn't the only controversy around Mayweather's claim. The boxer has a well-established history of promoting his wealth through social media, often showcasing his extravagant purchases like luxury cars, watches, and properties. However, 50 Cent has long been critical of Mayweather's financial habits, suggesting that the boxer is more focused on projecting an image of wealth than actually securing it. For years, 50 has mocked Mayweather for living a lavish lifestyle while leaving a trail of unresolved financial issues.
Back in the ring?
I think it got to right now because the money gone.
So the money's really gone.
Yeah, that's what you think. It's fight, get the money, spend the money, fight.
All that money.
And it took been 2 years.
So is it just his overhead is so high on a day-to-day, month-to-month? Like
I don't even want to talk about it. Like with the lifestyle, that money's gone. Trust me. Now it's like you call him, he'll be at your local host.
Mayweather's failure to address these specific accusations only added fuel to the fire. He's been quick to respond to many public criticisms over the years, especially regarding his career and his flashy lifestyle. So his silence on this matter raised even more suspicion. Anytime Floyd Mayweather felt there were questions about his wealth, he's always stepped saying something like,
Just another ordinary day, chilling in an EWB Rolls Royce. For those that don't know what an EWB is, that's an extended wheelbase Rolls Royce. I need the leg room. I know I ain't that tall, about 5'8.5", some days 5'9", but it is what it is. Chilling, sitting right here watching the Thriller in Manila, Ali versus Frazier documentary. Come check it out.
50 Cent has made it clear over the years that his fallout with Floyd Mayweather wasn't just about ego or clashing personalities, it was about money. He openly said their relationship broke down when Mayweather, fresh out of jail in 2012, refused to pay back money 50 had put up to keep Mayweather Promotions running. 50 claimed he fronted serious cash to handle operational costs, expecting Floyd to reimburse him once he was out. That repayment never came. According to 50, that's when things turned sour. He didn't just lose a friend, he realized he had invested in someone who wasn't serious about the business side of boxing.
When you gonna give me the money?
Because you had already invested.
Right, like when you gonna give me your half of the money back. But I ain't trying to press him because he just got out of jail, right? So it's like, let him cool his heels before you.
Was that in the millions?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you sitting there big, and I'm like, yo, so when, but see, the fighters are an asset in themselves. They are that talent, regardlessly. Right. So I'm looking at him going, so there ain't no pressure there, but I'm saying, when is he gonna say he wants to, to give me the other half of it?
What makes this rift even more cutting is that 50 has said he still owns rights connected to the Money Team, famously known as TMT, the brand Mayweather built his post-boxing empire around. In multiple interviews, 50 stated that while Mayweather parades TMT as his global brand, certain trademarks and rights are technically under 50's name. He claimed that when they first started TMT together, Floyd wasn't focused on the paperwork, so 50 handled the filings himself and kept the rights. It's one of the quieter jabs, but one that cuts deep, especially considering Mayweather's obsession with branding and legacy.
I could stop them from using TMT as their logo right now. Because
you wouldn't do that because y'all cool again.
Yeah, I'm just not chasing it. But to be honest with you, I incorporated TMT in Delaware while he was incarcerated. Because he didn't sign the paper doesn't mean the corporation is invalid. So I could actually, technically it trademarks the term of it because his entire corporation is built on it. So I could tell you, you can't have TMT socks. You can't have that TMT shirt you got on. He don't understand that because he's just not.
Floyd Mayweather's recent Instagram post, where he dismissed critics as bitter, jealous, envious, loser stalkers, has further pushed discussions about his financial dealings and the authenticity of his wealth claims. While Mayweather positions himself as a self-made mogul defying stereotypes, several figures in the boxing world have raised concerns about the transparency of his business ventures. Logan Paul, who faced Mayweather in a high-profile exhibition match in June 2021, has publicly accused him of withholding payment. Paul claims he is owed around $5 million from the bout, a sum that has allegedly prevented him from making significant purchases, such as a private jet.
Did you fight Floyd or something?
Yeah.
Did he pay you to lose?
Nah,
What happened?
he didn't pay me. I wish you'd pay me.
How much you owe you?
Probably between 2 and 3.
Yeah.
You got it on you by any chance?
I have it in Nigerian money. I'll give you 10 million in Nigerian money. That's about.
Despite Mayweather's insistence that he paid Paul in full, the YouTuber turned boxer plans to sue to recover the owed amount. This dispute casts doubt on Mayweather's financial practices and raises questions about his liquidity and commitment to honoring contractual obligations. Mayweather's financial controversies extend beyond the boxing ring. In 2018, the Securities and Exchange Commission fined him over $600,000 for failing to disclose payments he received for promoting investments in digital currency securities. Specifically, Mayweather did not reveal that he was paid $300K to promote 3 separate initial coin offerings, including one by Centra Tech, a company later accused of fraud. This incident highlights Mayweather's involvement in questionable financial promotions and suggests a pattern of prioritizing personal gain over transparency.
Boxer Floyd Mayweather Jr. and music producer DJ Khaled settled their case with the SEC. It says that investigators found Mayweather did not disclose he was paid by 3 cryptocurrency companies to promote investments through social media, including $100,000 from Centra Tech. For that company, Mayweather tweeted telling followers to get Centra's ICOs before they sell out. Khaled also allegedly did not disclose he was paid $50,000 from the same company. On social media, he called it a game changer.
Tax issues have also plagued Mayweather's financial narrative. In 2017, records revealed that he owed the Internal Revenue Service more than $22.2 million in unpaid taxes from 2015, the year he earned approximately $200 million from his fight against Manny Pacquiao. Mayweather petitioned the U.S. tax court, arguing that his assets were primarily illiquid and requested to pay his debt in installments. The IRS, however, refused this request, indicating concerns about his ability to manage his finances effectively.
Floyd Mayweather has made a lot of money in his career. It appears he also owes a lot of money too. The boxer apparently owes $22.2 million in taxes from 2015. According to ESPN, the tax balance was unpaid as recently as March 6th of this year. Meanwhile, on Facebook he shared, "Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear." He added, "Uncle Sam received $26 million from me in 2015. He continued, "Bottom."
Critics within the boxing community have not shied away from questioning Mayweather's financial integrity. Former UFC fighter Chael Sonnen warned that Mayweather's failure to pay Logan Paul could attract the attention of federal authorities, such as the FBI. Sonnen's comments suggest that Mayweather's financial disputes are not only public relations issues, but could also have legal ramifications.
You say a man doesn't pay you, it's a big deal. Because you are now calling that other man's integrity into question. If you do that publicly, oh my goodness. If a man, particularly one who brags about his wealth, is not paying his bills, it's a big deal. And I just thought that's all Paul was doing.
Conor McGregor, Mayweather's opponent in a 2017 boxing match, has also commented on the boxer's financial situation. McGregor suggested that Mayweather's return to the ring was motivated by financial necessity rather than a genuine desire to compete. He pointed to Mayweather's significant tax debts as evidence that the boxer needed to generate income to settle his obligations.
It'd be great.
I feel good, training hard.
It was great.
Did Floyd not take out his own jets?
Floyd got 3.
Oh, yeah,
So Floyd's got the one that he got, and he got
tax
2
problems.
Yeah.
That's what he's got.
Oh, Floyd.
Adding to the controversy, Mayweather's extravagant lifestyle continues to draw attention. During the 2024 Super Bowl weekend in Las Vegas, he reportedly spent over $1 million on a luxury suite at the Allegiant Stadium and made significant purchases, including a substantial bet on the game. While such displays of wealth are consistent with his public persona, they also raise questions about his financial priorities and the sustainability of his spending habits. These criticisms from various individuals in the sports industry highlight a pattern of skepticism regarding Mayweather's financial claims. While he continues to project an image of success and wealth, the lack of clear evidence in the presence of disputes suggests that his financial narrative may not be as solid as presented.
Floyd, you're 50 years old. You're a legend in the sport. I've stood up for you in countless interviews, including Shannon Sharp's podcast last week. But you have to stop embarrassing yourself with these exhibitions. I know life is hard. I know life is expensive. But come on, dude, put your legacy first. Nobody wants to remember you like this. And it gets worse. Your jeweler filed a lawsuit against you in Miami. And many are saying you're gonna have to sell off your assets. I hate seeing
Floyd Mayweather's legacy as one of the greatest fighters of this generation is under more scrutiny than ever. Not just because of the caliber of opponents he faced or avoided, but because the man is slowly becoming a symbol of what happens when ego, unchecked spending, and legal distractions start to eat away at more than just your bank account. It's not just about dollars anymore. It's about value, relevance, authenticity, legacy. And that's what Mayweather is quietly losing in real time, even if the headlines still chase his name.
Money made all day. You know, right here, a light million. Over there, counting up another million over there. Walk with me, ladies and gentlemen. Let me take you into my life. So Andrew Jackson, of course, is on the 20.
James Toney, a guy with more grit in his pinky finger than some modern fighters have in their whole bodies, said it plainly. Floyd ain't the greatest, not even close. And it wasn't shade, it was perspective. Toney knows what it's like to fight in a blood and guts era, where champions didn't cherry-pick names for resume polish but went through fire against legends in their primes. He didn't see Floyd doing that. Instead, he saw someone who played the timing game, who waited out the dangerous names, who capitalized on calculated risks and marketing over pure danger. Julio Cesar Chavez, a monster in his prime, was conveniently missed. Shane Mosley, Oscar De La Hoya, Cotto, all of them fought Floyd past their primes. Floyd built a perfect record but protected it like a Fabergé egg.
Yeah,
Right,
I came up under the best.
Yeah, this has all been a very smart marketing play. I get that.
Yeah.
I mean, I went down to see your mate Conor McGregor fight Floyd Mayweather, and it was a fascinating thing to watch.
Yeah.
I never actually thought he could beat Floyd Mayweather, but
He did great.
But for a few rounds, he went toe-to-toe with him, and it was really interesting to watch.
He did really
and it was a massive success.
And when guys like Toney call that out, it hits a nerve because it's not jealousy. Toney's legacy doesn't need Mayweather's approval. He fought killers and beat them. It's not hate, it's boxing IQ calling BS on the smoke and mirrors era that Floyd helped craft. The same era that's now producing TikTok fights, YouTuber spectacles, and pay-per-view jokes. The issue now isn't just about what Floyd didn't do back then, it's about what he's still doing now, and why. The constant flow of exhibition fights, the cringeworthy stage pressers, the wild rumors like a fight with Rio Ferdinand, the whole thing reeks of desperation wrapped in designer clothes. These fights are supposedly just fun for Floyd, a man who claims he's choosing to fight, not needing to. But how many times does a man need to say he's rich before people start wondering if he's just covering something up?
Some may make 10 or 20 million, but I'm doing exhibitions. And I'm making 20, 25 million, 100 million for exhibitions. So why would I come back and fight and get a guaranteed 35 million when I'm doing exhibitions and getting 100 million?
Because that's the question a lot of people are quietly asking. Is Floyd Mayweather still as rich as he says he is? Or is the money just enough of a facade to keep the house of cards standing? Joe Rogan didn't bite his tongue when he brought this up on his podcast. He pointed at Floyd's spending habits, his million-dollar watches, his obsession with maintaining a billionaire persona, and straight up said it. The money has to keep coming in because the lifestyle isn't slowing down. That kind of living doesn't support itself unless the income is constant. And that's why you're seeing Floyd take these low-risk, high-money fights against nobodies. It's not about competition. It's about keeping the lights on. Like 50 said.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, limited edition AP, all factory, 1.8 million right here. The $20 bills section. We like to call this the Andrew Jackson section, but I like to call it wallpaper. 200,000 in 20s. I heard in the song you can get the biggest Chanel bag in the store if you want it. Well, it's the biggest Chanel bag in the world.
This is a man living paycheck to paycheck. A man who had to ask the IRS for a delay on a $22 million tax bill after the Pacquiao fight. A man who had to defend himself against federal charges for undisclosed crypto promotion. A man who still hasn't fully paid Logan Paul for their exhibition. All while still claiming he makes $20 to $30 million for every non-sanctioned sparring session against an influencer. If that were true, why haven't those court issues disappeared? Why is he always having to say how rich he is over and over and over again?
It's Money May, Aaron Mayweather 2. No Money Green on him. Change it up. Change it up. Change it up. That's what we do. There you go. There you go. There you go. That's what we did. I need everybody, all the fighters all around the world. MMA, boxers, follow this man right here. We get the job done. Money May, and y'all know the rest.
Because people who are truly secure in their wealth and legacy don't talk like that. Floyd doesn't just want to be rich. He wants to be seen as rich, unstoppably, untouchably rich. The problem is that the more he chases that image, the more artificial it looks. The value isn't in the dollar amount anymore. It's in how people perceive him. And more, that perception is cracking. The respect Floyd once commanded in the sport is slipping, not because he lost a fight, but because he's turning his name into a circus. Real ones in the sport, guys like Tony, like Rogan, like even Canelo now, see through it. They know the difference between building a brand and hiding behind it. The Mayweather brand used to be about hard work, dedication. Now it's about selfies in private jets and auctioning off fantasy fights to the highest bidder, and of course, building wealth as he calls it.
I believe in building generational wealth. Even like when my children, all 4 of my children are adults. And I told them, no more handouts. Because I feel like I'm hurting my children just by, I give them money, they go shopping, they put gas in their car, they party, they come back, I need money. I give them money, I buy them houses, I buy them cars. Told them, listen, if you guys go to school or you work in one of my businesses, then you can branch off, get your own business.
Even Eddie Hearn couldn't help but throw a little more jab Floyd's way, joking about how much more money Floyd would have made if he was his promoter. Floyd laughed, but everyone knew what Hearn was really saying. You've burned bridges, you've kept your circle small, and now you're left with your own limited hustle, fighting nobodies, desperately trying to prove you're still that guy. And what about the fights themselves? These exhibitions, no matter how they spin it, are embarrassing. Mayweather clowns around, barely breaks a sweat, plays with his food for a few rounds, and walks out with a check. No real challenge, no real opponent, no real stakes. How many times can you sell that before even the casual fans start rolling their eyes? It's not boxing anymore, it's brand maintenance. It's a man pretending he's still in demand when in reality, he's recycling the same tricks in smaller venues with lesser names.
One thing, me and my buddy got it clear. We said as long as it's 10 or 20, no problem. Anything less, can't be less than 10, because then we're struggling for money. I had to show Eddie some of the account. Eddie, hold up.
Imagine how much money Floyd Mayweather would have made if I was his promoter back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Two hungry fuckers for money.
And don't forget how that bleeds into his reputation. Every time he fights an influencer, he cheapens the weight of his legacy. Every time he steps into a ring, not for pride, competition, or greatness, but for clout and cash, he gives his critics more ammo. When people like Tony say he would have gotten washed in the 90s, more people start nodding. When Paul calls him out for ducking payment, more people listen. When fans start laughing at the idea of a Floyd versus Rio Ferdinand fight, the illusion starts to crack.
These guys carry on and they do the exhibitions and all that kind of stuff. It just sort of diminishes the legacy a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
And that's what I feel like's happened with Mayweather.
Why do you think he does those things though? Do you think
for money?
I
don't think he's got the money he says. That's what I think.
I think he still needs the money.
I don't
after
think
all
he
these
needs
years.
the money. But you know when you got that lifestyle, right? So when you...
This isn't a man at the top of his game anymore. It's a man trying to keep the game going when the clock's already run out. He's chasing relevance in a sport that's already moved on. Guys like Crawford, Inoue, and even Ryan Garcia are writing their own chapters now. Mayweather's stuck trying to reprint his old ones with less ink each time. And the wildest part is, he could have walked away clean. After McGregor, after 50, 0, he could have disappeared and left the game with mystery and myth intact. Instead, he's unraveling his own legend, one exhibition at a time. Each fight against a no-name, each Instagram flex about $1 million toy, each new controversy about unpaid dues, it all chips away at the aura. The money isn't the story anymore, the desperation is. That's what Floyd doesn't see.
Hey. This is how the champ does it. Yo, straight off the press conference where we're here at Neiman Marcus, this is how you do it.
He's losing value, not just cash. His brand used to mean something, now it's just noise. And if he doesn't pull the plug soon, he won't just be remembered as the guy who went 50, 0. He'll be remembered as the guy who didn't know when to quit. Well, what do you think? Share your take below and subscribe for more updates.